What happens when Ferrari returns to its pure V12 soul? No turbos, no hybrids, just raw power and passion. The 2025 Ferrari 12 Cilindri isn't just a car, it's a statement. But does it truly live up to the legend? Ferrari has done something bold, something almost rebellious in today's era of electric silence. The 2025 Ferrari 12 Cilindri brings back a naturally aspirated V12 engine, a heartbeat that refuses to die. But behind the breathtaking design and symphonic roar lies a question every enthusiast is asking. Is this the last true Ferrari of its kind, or just nostalgia dressed in carbon fiber? In this video, we dive deep into the truth, the beauty, the flaws, and the soul of Ferrari's most emotional creation in years. Imagine standing in the garage, the red Ferrari 12 Cilindri glistening under the lights. You press the starter button, and instantly, the world around you fades into insignificance. What follows isn't a noise, it's a symphony. 12 cylinders ignite in perfect harmony, sending a deep mechanical growl through the floor, through your chest, and straight into your spine. This is not just an engine, it's an emotion, one that modern cars have all but forgotten. Under that impossibly long hood lies a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated V12, an evolution of the power plant from the 812 competizione. But Ferrari didn't just transplant it, they reimagined it. Every piston, valve, and exhaust pulse was tuned to create something more organic, more connected. It produces around 830 horsepower, revving to a spine-tingling 9,500 RPM, an astronomical figure for a road car without forced induction. That means no turbos dulling the throttle, no electric motors smoothing out the power. What you get instead is purity, the kind of immediacy and feedback that only a naturally aspirated engine can deliver. When you touch the throttle, there's no delay, no waiting for boost. The car responds like a living creature, breathing and roaring with every millimeter of pedal movement. It's the same sensation that defined Ferrari's golden era, the V12s of the 250 GTO, the F50, and the 599 GTO. Ferrari knows what's being lost as the industry electrifies, and the 12 Cilindri feels like Maranello's love letter to internal combustion itself. It's not just about performance. It's about preserving a sound, a feeling, a ritual that defines what it means to drive. You can almost imagine it on a mountain pass in northern Italy, the engine echoing between stone walls, the revs climbing, the tone shifting from a deep baritone growl to a high-pitched, metallic scream that feels almost orchestral. Ferrari engineers have tuned every intake resonance and exhaust note to perfection. It's not loud for the sake of being loud, it's musical. There's texture, tone, and range. Close your eyes, and it feels like standing in front of an orchestra conducted by Enzo Ferrari himself. But it's not all nostalgia. The V12 is mated to Ferrari's latest 8-speed dual-clutch transmission, taken from the SF90 Stradale, but reprogrammed for more emotional shifts. The gearbox fires off upshifts in milliseconds, yet it knows when to breathe, allowing the revs to linger just long enough to make your heart race. Downshifts are accompanied by perfect rev matches, each one a reminder that this car was tuned by people who love driving, not just engineering. And yet, despite its raw nature, it's surprisingly refined. Ferrari's engineers worked tirelessly to make the V12 more usable, more fluid at low speeds. The throttle mapping is progressive, making it just as comfortable cruising through Monaco's streets as it is charging down a racetrack straight. That balance between civility and savagery is what separates Ferrari from everyone else. This engine isn't about chasing 0 to 60 numbers or lap times. It's about connection. It's mechanical artistry in a digital world. Every vibration, every intake pulse, and every surge of power feels real. It's the kind of car that rewards you for listening, for feeling, for being part of the experience rather than just commanding it. And perhaps that's the most important truth about the 12 Cilindri's heart. It represents resistance. In a world rushing toward silence, Ferrari chose to build something that still sings. They could have gone hybrid. They could have gone electric, but they didn't. They built a 12-cylinder ode to emotion, a reminder that sometimes progress means remembering where you came from. When the revs finally drop and the car comes to rest, there's a moment of quiet. Not because the car is off, but because you are. The sound still lingers in your mind, the echo of that V12 bouncing around your thoughts like the end of a beautiful song. It's addictive. It's emotional. And it's proof that the 2025 Ferrari 12 Cilindri doesn't just have an engine. It has a soul. The first time you see the Ferrari 12 Cilindri in person, it doesn't shout. It mesmerizes. There's something otherworldly about its proportions, something both familiar and futuristic. Ferrari calls it a design inspired by purity, but it feels more like poetry written in metal and light. It's a car that doesn't try to impress you with aggression or gimmicks. Instead, it seduces you with timeless elegance and aerodynamic precision. Every surface, every crease, every reflection is deliberate, the result of thousands of hours sculpting emotion into form. At a glance, you might notice the echoes of Ferrari's golden past. The long, commanding hood stretches forward like a sculptor's brushstroke, paying homage to the legendary 365 GTB4 Daytona, one of Ferrari's most celebrated front-engine V12s. Yet the 12 Cilindri isn't a nostalgic replica. It's the Daytona reimagined through the lens of the future. The lines are cleaner, sharper, and more cohesive, giving it a sense of power without arrogance. There's a purity here, a design stripped of unnecessary decoration, leaving only what matters most. The front fascia is one of the most striking elements. Gone are the traditional open grills. In their place sits a smooth, sculpted surface where the headlights are integrated seamlessly beneath a single piece of body-colored glass. It's a bold move, one that feels futuristic yet instantly recognizable as Ferrari. The look is minimalist, but behind that simplicity lies engineering brilliance. Hidden air intakes and active aerodynamic channels work silently beneath the surface, directing airflow exactly where it's needed. It's beauty driven by purpose. As your eyes follow the body toward the side profile, the 12 Cilindri reveals its athletic stance. The cabin sits pushed far back, almost over the rear wheels, creating that classic long hood, short deck proportion that screams power and performance. The shoulder line runs uninterrupted from the nose to the tail light, sculpted to catch the light like a blade. The haunches are muscular but not exaggerated. They speak of strength, not bulk. This is a car that doesn't need to prove itself. It knows what it is. Walk around to the rear, and the language shifts from nostalgia to pure modernism. A full-width LED light bar runs seamlessly across the back, framed by aerodynamic fins that double as styling elements. The rear diffuser is a masterpiece of airflow management, functional art that grounds the car visually and physically. Even the quad exhausts are perfectly integrated into the lower bumper, maintaining symmetry and balance. Every inch of the 12 Cilindri feels like it was designed by someone who understands not just aerodynamics, but emotion. Then there's the roofline, low, flowing, and impossibly sleek. The coupe version offers a continuous glass canopy that melts into the rear deck, while the open-top Spider variant brings the sky into the equation. Both designs emphasize motion, even when the car is standing still. From above, it almost resembles a teardrop, the most aerodynamically efficient shape in nature. And that's no accident. The 12 Cilindri's entire form is dictated by air, how it moves, how it flows, how it breathes. Ferrari's design team worked hand-in-hand with their aerodynamic engineers to create what they call functional minimalism. Active aerodynamic flaps on the rear adjust automatically based on speed, balancing downforce and drag with millisecond precision. At lower speeds, the car remains sleek and elegant. At high speeds, those same elements transform, enhancing stability and grip without compromising beauty. You don't see the technology working, you feel it. Perhaps what's most remarkable about the 12 Cilindri's design is its restraint. In a world where many supercars look busy, cluttered, or over-designed, Ferrari chose subtlety. It's a return to elegance, An expression of confidence that doesn't need loudness to be noticed. The lines do the talking. The proportions tell the story. Standing before it, you realize this car could only come from Ferrari. There's a lineage, a DNA, that connects it to decades of icons. But at the same time, it feels like a clean slate, as if Ferrari wiped away every excess and focused on pure essence, performance, and beauty, harmonized. The 12 Cilindri doesn't just look fast, it feels fast before it even moves. It's sculpture in motion, a bridge between Ferrari's storied past and its uncertain future. And as you take one last look before the engine comes to life, you can't help but think, this might be the last time design and passion align so perfectly in a car born for both art and adrenaline. Step inside the Ferrari 12 Cilindri, and the world outside immediately disappears. The doors close with a mechanical precision that feels more like the hatch of a jet than a car. The cabin greets you not with extravagance or clutter, but with intention. Every surface, every texture, every control is designed to draw your focus to one thing: the experience of driving. It's an environment that feels both familiar and futuristic, a perfect harmony between Ferrari's racing DNA and modern luxury. The first thing you notice is the layout. The dashboard is sculpted around the driver like a cockpit, enveloping you in a wraparound design that emphasizes control. Ferrari calls this dual cockpit architecture, and it's a brilliant blend of symmetry and purpose. There are no giant central screens dominating the view, no oversized touch panels begging for attention. Instead, the focus is split between two beautifully integrated digital displays, one behind the steering wheel for the driver and one in front of the passenger. The message is clear. The 12 Cilindri isn't just for the person behind the wheel. It's an experience meant to be shared. The driver's display is a fully digital instrument cluster that redefines minimalism. It's crisp, fluid, and dynamic, displaying everything from revs and speed to navigation and drive modes. But unlike many modern cars, Ferrari has resisted turning the interior into a smartphone on wheels. You won't find endless menus or hidden settings buried in software. Everything you need is at your fingertips, arranged logically and intuitively. The interface responds instantly, with graphics that echo the car's design philosophy: sharp, elegant, and precise. Then there's the steering wheel, the heart of the Ferrari experience. It's a sculpted work of art, trimmed in fine leather and carbon fiber, with the iconic Manettino dial taking center stage. That small switch allows you to choose between driving modes, from the calm confidence of comfort to the raw aggression of race. But unlike in other performance cars, the Manettino doesn't feel like a gimmick. It's a direct line of communication between you and the machine, changing the character of the car instantly. The start button glows red like a heartbeat, and every time you press it, the cabin comes alive. Ferrari's designers have mastered the art of balance here, blending tradition and technology without letting one overpower the other. The 12 Cilindri's cabin isn't trying to impress you with excessive luxury, it's crafted to make you feel something. The materials are exquisite: hand-stitched leather, real carbon fiber, brushed aluminum, but they're used with restraint. Nothing feels ornamental. Everything has purpose. Even the stitching lines along the dashboard follow aerodynamic patterns, subtly mirroring the flow of air over the car's exterior. And while the interior is driver-focused, the passenger isn't forgotten. The secondary display lets them view speed, navigation, or even monitor performance data in real time. It's an immersive experience, as if they're co-piloting a high-speed mission. The seats, designed for both comfort and support, hug your body perfectly, blending touring comfort with track-ready firmness. Long drives feel effortless, yet you always sense the power waiting beneath your right foot. Ambient lighting has been tuned with the same attention to detail as the engine sound. Soft, glowing lines trace the cabin contours, creating an atmosphere that feels calm yet charged with anticipation. At night, it's like sitting in the cockpit of a spacecraft, with the outside world fading into darkness while the engine hums in quiet confidence. One of the most striking aspects of this interior is how it respects the driver's senses. Ferrari avoided excessive screens or haptic feedback in favor of tactile buttons, switches, and levers that offer real mechanical feedback. Every click, every motion feels intentional. It's a refreshing reminder that true luxury isn't about removing the human element. It's about enhancing it. In a world where cars are becoming more like rolling computers, the Ferrari 12 Cilindri's interior stands as a statement. Technology should serve emotion, not replace it. It bridges eras, where analog passion meets digital precision. You don't simply sit inside this car, you belong inside it. The cabin doesn't separate you from the machine. It connects you to it in a way that feels alive, personal, and unforgettable. And as you grip the steering wheel surrounded by that unmistakable Ferrari scent of leather and power, you realize this is not just an interior. It's a sanctuary built for the art of driving. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. An empty mountain road just after sunrise, the sky painted in gold, and the faint growl of 12 cylinders awakening behind the hood. You ease the Ferrari 12 Cilindri onto the tarmac, and instantly, everything about the car feels alive, alert, responsive, eager to perform. The steering wheel is firm in your hands, the engine hums with restrained power, and you can sense that under the surface a masterpiece of engineering is waiting to be unleashed. Then, with a gentle press of your right foot, it happens. The world explodes into motion. The 12 Cilindri doesn't accelerate, it surges. There's no sudden jolt, no artificial torque spike. The power builds like a rising storm, smooth, linear, and utterly intoxicating. From 3,000 RPM, it sings. At 6,000, it howls. And as the rev needle climbs past 9,000, the sound transforms into a scream so pure and mechanical that it sends shivers down your spine. This isn't synthetic theater. This is nature and machinery working in perfect harmony. The engine note fills the cabin, reflecting off every mountain wall, echoing like a performance only a Ferrari can compose. The handling, meanwhile, borders on telepathic. Ferrari's engineers have perfected the art of connection. The way. The car communicates every grain of asphalt through the steering wheel, the way it pivots around corners as if it's reading your mind. The 12 Cilindri uses Ferrari's latest rear-wheel steering system, which subtly angles the rear wheels to improve agility at low speeds and stability at high speeds. You don't feel the system working, but you feel the results. The car dances through curves with an elegance that belies its size. It's large, yes, but it moves like something half its weight. Then there's the suspension, a marvel of modern tuning. Ferrari's magnetorheological dampers read the road in milliseconds, adapting instantly to surface changes. Hit a bump, mid-corner, and instead of unsettling the chassis, the system absorbs it with grace, maintaining perfect composure. The car feels balanced, poised, confident. It's as if the 12 Cilindri has its own heartbeat, adjusting to your rhythm, mirroring your emotions. Whether you're carving through mountain passes, gliding along the coast, or tearing down a racetrack straight, the car feels perfectly at home. One of the most remarkable aspects of the driving experience is the duality of its character. In comfort mode, the 12 Cilindri is surprisingly refined. Smooth, quiet, almost gentle. The steering relaxes, the suspension softens, and the V12 hums instead of howls. It's a car that can take you across a continent in complete serenity. But switch the Manettino dial to race mode, and it transforms instantly. The throttle sharpens, the gearbox snaps through gears like a rifle bolt, and the exhaust note hardens into a feral roar. The calm, grand tourer becomes a relentless predator. The transmission deserves its own applause. The 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox is the perfect partner to the V12. Lightning fast, yet emotionally tuned. Upshifts crack with authority, while downshifts are accompanied by perfectly matched blips that make you feel like a Formula One driver. Ferrari's engineers didn't design this gearbox just for performance. They designed it for drama. Each shift is a moment. Each gear change tells a story. Driving the 12 Cilindri isn't about chasing lap times or statistics. It's about connection, the bond between man and machine. It rewards smoothness, rhythm, and confidence. Push too hard, and it will remind you who's in charge. But flow with it, let the revs build, time your shifts, and guide it through corners. And it feels like you're part of something alive. The feedback, the sound, the balance. Everything works together to create an experience that's almost spiritual. When you finally lift off the throttle and coast to a stop, the silence feels deafening. The echoes of that V12 still linger in your chest. You look at the car, engine ticking softly as it cools, and you realize what Ferrari has done. They've built not just a machine, but an emotional instrument. The 12 Cilindri doesn't just take you from point A to point B, it takes you somewhere deeper, into the pure essence of what driving was always meant to be. The Ferrari 12 Cilindri, for all its brilliance, comes with a reality that every enthusiast needs to understand. It is not featherlight. With a curb weight tipping just over 1,500 kilograms, it carries more mass than some of its immediate rivals. On paper, that might seem like a drawback, especially when compared to lighter supercars built with ultra-aggressive weight-saving strategies. Yet, Ferrari has always been about balance, and the 12 Cilindri proves that weight alone doesn't define performance. What matters is how that weight is distributed, managed, and harnessed to create a driving experience that feels alive, nimble, and purposeful. The engineers at Maranello approached this challenge with precision. Every gram of carbon fiber, every aluminum panel, every piece of composite material was strategically placed to optimize balance. The result is a near-perfect 49-51 front-to-rear weight distribution. It's subtle, almost imperceptible when you first climb in, but the effect is profound. The car feels grounded, poised, and eager, yet never twitchy or unpredictable. Even at high speeds, the 12 Cilindri exudes a sense of calm authority. It doesn't fight you, it cooperates. You feel in control, connected to the machine, and confident in every maneuver. Then there's the chassis. Ferrari didn't rely solely on raw material choices. They engineered the very frame of the car to counterbalance its weight. Carbon fiber monocoque construction, reinforced aluminum subframes, and an intelligent use of high-strength steels ensure rigidity without unnecessary bulk. Every component contributes to torsional stiffness, keeping the body stable through corners and under heavy braking. The car may be heavy, but it behaves like a lighter vehicle thanks to this meticulous engineering. It's a lesson in the philosophy that weight is not the enemy. It's an opportunity to refine handling and feedback. The suspension system is equally crucial in masking the car's mass. Ferrari's magnetorheological dampers react in milliseconds, adjusting stiffness and damping on the fly. On tight, winding roads, the car hugs the asphalt with almost supernatural precision. On rough surfaces, it absorbs imperfections gracefully, giving you the sense of driving a finely tuned instrument rather than a cumbersome machine. Even under high lateral loads, the 12 Cilindri maintains composure, allowing you to attack corners without hesitation. You can feel the weight, yes, but it is carefully tamed, disciplined, and harnessed to deliver maximum performance. What's fascinating is how this weight actually enhances the driving experience rather than diminishing it. Unlike ultra-light, track-focused supercars that can feel skittish or overly reactive at high speeds, the 12 Cilindri's mass provides a sense of presence. Every shift of weight under braking, every transfer during cornering, gives tactile feedback that connects the driver to the car's dynamics. It's substantial, it's deliberate, and it feels alive. A physical reminder that you're handling one of Ferrari's most powerful naturally aspirated machines. Weight also plays a role in comfort. The car's larger mass allows it to glide over imperfections at high speed without inducing fatigue. It's part of why the 12 Cilindri can serve as both an emotional track car and a capable grand tourer. You can spend hours behind the wheel and still feel invigorated rather than worn out. The car's heft is not a limitation. It's part of its dual personality, wild when provoked, composed when needed. Of course, critics will point to the numbers. Lighter cars may be quicker in corners or more nimble at low speeds. But what the 12 Cilindri achieves is rare. A balance of weight, power, and emotion that makes it feel far lighter than it is. Ferrari doesn't just hide the weight, they transform it into a performance asset. Every extra kilogram contributes to stability, composure, and a unique sense of connectedness that no stripped-down, ultralight supercar can replicate. In the end, the truth about the 12 Cilindri's weight is simple. It's a deliberate choice. Ferrari embraced it, engineered around it, and used it to create a car that feels powerful, responsive, and alive. You don't feel burdened behind the wheel. You feel grounded. The weight becomes part of the rhythm, the feedback, the emotional connection between driver and machine. It's a reminder that performance isn't just about numbers on a spec sheet. It's about how a car feels, how it communicates, and how it leaves you exhilarated every single time you press the throttle. The 12 Cilindri proves that mass, when mastered, can become magic. The price of the Ferrari 12 Cilindri is more than just a number. It's a statement. Starting at around $450,000, this car sits in the upper echelon of supercars, yet for Ferrari enthusiasts, it represents something far greater than the monetary value. It is an investment in heritage, in emotion, and in a driving experience that cannot be replicated by hybrid powertrains or electric torque curves. When you pay for a 12 Cilindri, you're not just buying horsepower or luxury. You're buying access to a piece of automotive history, a car that embodies Ferrari's philosophy of passion and precision, distilled into its purest form. Limited production adds another layer to its exclusivity. Ferrari has deliberately kept numbers low, ensuring that the 12 Cilindri remains a rare and coveted masterpiece. Owning one is not just about driving. It's about joining an elite club of enthusiasts who appreciate the rarity of a naturally aspirated V12 front-engine grand tourer. While other supercars of similar performance can be produced in the thousands, the 12 Cilindri is intentionally scarce, making each vehicle a collector's treasure. Scarcity, combined with the brand's reputation, ensures that the value is likely to appreciate over time, making it not only a car but also a tangible asset. But the price also reflects what goes into creating this machine. Ferrari's engineers spent countless hours perfecting every detail, from the engine's revving characteristics to the aerodynamics, chassis tuning, and interior craftsmanship. This is a car designed without compromise. There are no cost-cutting shortcuts. No corners were cut in the pursuit of pure performance and emotional engagement. Every component, whether visible or hidden beneath the carbon fiber panels, has been meticulously designed, tested, and refined. This level of attention to detail is what separates the 12 Cilindri from less expensive, mass-produced alternatives. Another aspect that justifies the price is the driving experience itself. The V12 engine, capable of 830 horsepower and screaming to 9,500 RPM, is a rare jewel in a world dominated by turbocharged and hybrid engines. There's an authenticity here that cannot be quantified in dollars or lap times. Every throttle input, every corner, every interaction with the car feels raw, visceral, and emotionally resonant. While some may chase hybrid supercars for instantaneous torque or record-breaking times, the 12 Cilindri delivers something far more enduring, a connection to driving that stimulates all the senses. Maintenance and ownership considerations also factor into the cost, but they are part of the experience. Ferrari's exclusive service network ensures that each vehicle is maintained to exacting standards, preserving not just performance, but also long-term value. Owning a 12 Cilindri is a commitment, but it's one that reinforces the brand's promise, a car that rewards passion, attention, and care with experiences that transcend ordinary driving. Furthermore, the price positions the 12 Cilindri in a unique emotional niche. Unlike entry-level supercars or hypercars pushing technological extremes with hybrid powertrains, this car celebrates purity, the raw, analog connection between man and machine. For enthusiasts who value emotion over numbers, the price reflects a choice to invest in an unforgettable experience rather than just a set of statistics. It's also worth noting the potential for future value appreciation. Limited production, a naturally aspirated V12, and the possibility that this could be one of Ferrari's last front-engine V12s combined to create a scenario where scarcity drives desirability. Cars like this historically appreciate faster than more common models, making the 12 Cilindri not just a purchase, but a legacy. In the end, the 12 Cilindri's price is about more than money. It's about access to an experience few will ever feel. It's about being part of Ferrari's history, owning a symbol of defiance against the electric age and enjoying a machine that rewards emotion, skill, and passion at every turn. For those who understand, $450,000 isn't expensive. It's priceless. When you place the Ferrari 12 Cilindri next to its modern competitors, its unique character becomes immediately apparent. Cars like the Lamborghini Revuelto, Aston Martin DBS, E770 Ultimate, and McLaren Artura all offer incredible performance, cutting-edge technology, and hybrid-assisted powertrains. Yet, in comparison, the 12 Cilindri feels like it exists in a different realm. One defined not by lap times or torque figures, but by purity, emotion, and heritage. While competitors chase numbers, Ferrari has returned to its roots, building a car that prioritizes the connection between driver and machine above all else. Take the Lamborghini Revuelto, for instance. It's a hybrid V12 with staggering acceleration and cutting-edge aerodynamics. It can sprint from 0 to 65 km/h in well under 3 seconds, and its digital cockpit brims with technology. Yet, when you hear the 12 Cilindri's engine roar, there is an unmistakable difference. The Ferrari's naturally aspirated V12 isn't trying to cheat physics with electric torque or turbo boost. It communicates directly, honestly, and emotionally. It rewards patience, technique, and rhythm. The Revuelto may be more efficient or quicker in a straight line, but it cannot replicate the visceral symphony of 12 cylinders screaming in perfect harmony without any artificial assistance. The Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate offers a similar narrative. With a twin-turbo V12, the DBS is luxurious, comfortable, and immensely powerful. It blends grand touring refinement with supercar performance, making it ideal for long drives at speed. Yet the 12 Cilindri delivers a fundamentally different experience. While the DBS impresses with polish and luxury, Ferrari's V12 insists on engagement. Every gear change, every corner, every throttle input is a dialogue between driver and car. The 12 Cilindri doesn't just transport you, it challenges you, exhilarates you, and rewards emotional involvement. Where the DBS might soothe, the Ferrari ignites. Even McLaren's Artura, with its lightweight hybrid V6, underscores the contrast. McLaren chases efficiency, extreme weight reduction, and cutting-edge technology to maximize performance metrics. And while that is undeniably impressive, the Ferrari 12 Cilindri doesn't aim to win numbers games. Its purpose is different. It's about feeling every millisecond of acceleration, every nuance of weight transfer, and every note of that untamed V12 engine. You aren't just driving a 12 Cilindri, you're participating in a legacy that stretches back decades. This is where the 12 Cilindri's greatest advantage lies. It is one of the last front-engine, naturally aspirated V12 Grand Tourers on the planet. While competitors embrace hybrids and forced induction for efficiency and compliance with regulations, Ferrari chose authenticity. It's a bold statement, a bridge between the past and the uncertain future of high-performance vehicles. In essence, while others innovate technologically, Ferrari innovates emotionally, reminding drivers what driving used to feel like. Driving dynamics reinforce this distinction. The competitors may be faster in lap tests or more stable with electronic aids, but the 12-Cilindri rewards finesse. Its rear-wheel steering, adaptive suspension, and chassis tuning work in perfect harmony with the naturally aspirated V12, creating a sense of flow that is rarely found in modern supercars. It's not just agility. It's rhythm, emotion, and communication combined into one mechanical entity. In the end, comparing the Ferrari 12-Cilindri to its peers isn't about numbers, it's about priorities. While the Revuelto, DBS 770 Ultimate, and Artura are extraordinary machines, the 12-Cilindri stands alone in its purity. It's a car for enthusiasts who value passion over statistics, emotion over efficiency, and heritage over trends. It's a last-of-its-kind masterpiece that reminds the world what makes Ferrari legendary: a commitment to performance, design, and, most importantly, a soul that cannot be measured in horsepower alone. The 12-Cilindri doesn't just compete with its rivals, it transcends them. It reminds the world that sometimes the final word in performance isn't about speed or technology, but about the raw, unfiltered joy of driving a true V12 Ferrari. The 2025 Ferrari 12-Cilindri isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's raw, emotional, unapologetic, and maybe the last of a dying era. Ferrari didn't build this to break records, they built it to remind us what passion sounds like. If you believe cars should stir the soul, not just the stopwatch, this is your Ferrari. Subscribe for more honest car reviews, cinematic breakdowns, and the stories behind tomorrow's automotive legends. And tell me in the comments, would you choose this over a hybrid supercar?